Hello, everyone. Does this thing work? I think it works. Hi, my name is Nick Marinelli, and I am the Executive Director of MAGFest Inc. MAGFest Inc. is a 501c3 nonprofit non-stock corporation. If you have not tuned into one of these before, this is the monthly MAGFest Fireside chat. In style of, what was it, Woodrow Wilson used to do those? I don't know. Once a month, I come on stream and I give kind of a state of the mag address. A little bit more granular than that because it happens every month. So it's just updates about what's going on in the MAGFest world, what events are coming up, what events have happened, how things have been going. I unfortunately missed last month's Fireside chat because I might have been sleeping at the time, getting spun back up after Super Mag. But I did write a brief summary of what I would have talked about in the Fireside channel. Let me actually kind of go over that. The typical format of these things is I talk for, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half hour. Depends on how much I have to say. The less the better. At the end of that, I will take questions that you can submit here. I will try to look at stream chat, but be aware that I usually cannot, just because a lot of things going on, plus the computer I'm on right now is shit for power. So if I go to any other window, if I change to any window besides the notepad with my notes on it, it just slows to a damn near crawl. So again, if you want to ask questions, use that up there. I'll try to scroll back and look at anything that was said in stream chat. And afterwards, we will do a Google Meet. It's like a hangout. It's basically the exact same thing. And I'll post a link to the Google Meet in the Slack stream Slack chat, as well as the YouTube chat. This down here, why can I never do this? My Calendly. It hooks up to my Google calendars, my personal and my MAGFest, to show when I'm available and when I'm not, and has times that you can book to talk to me. It's usually pretty accurate as to when I am available and when I'm not. So just pick something if you want to talk to me. Doesn't matter if there's time available there. It means that I'm available to meet with you. Unless, of course, there's something else. And you can talk about anything you want. Fine, just pull me for whatever. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love it. It's a great tool. People have started to use it more, and I appreciate it because you can always feel free to ask me basically anything at any time, unless I'm swamped under whatever. I'm more than happy to answer your questions on anything, no matter how controversial you feel it may be. So going into the agenda for this, I'll run over what I would have talked about last month. First off, Super Mag 2018 happened, and it was the coolest thing ever. Everybody kicked ass. It was huge. It was probably the smoothest Super Mag ever. We almost sold out of badges. That was a fun little puzzle to solve on Friday night, trying to figure out if we're going to have enough Saturday badges. So yeah, Super Mag was awesome. There have been a lot of really positive mental health awareness changes in our community. People are being more cognizant of their limits on site and during the year, allowing themselves to be ambitious and try to go for big things, but recognizing that they shouldn't go so overboard that they damage their physical health, their mental health, and their relationships. The division heads are trying to follow up with all of their departments to do postmortems. Each of your individual departments should do your own internal postmortem, see what worked well for you all, if you would improve for next year, and your division head wants to catch up with you to see if you have any input for your division head, and see if they have any input for you, just to make sure that if there's anything that your internal postmortem had, any action items, feedback, whatever from your internal postmortem that you're unable to do on your own and need external help with, your division head can help you out with that. We had PAX South Jam Space back in January. That was awesome, run completely autonomously by the Jam Space crew out there. Communications. We had actually extended some offers to a couple communications candidates, and all of them declined. It's not reasonable. It's a really weird job. So what we are doing right now is we are in the process of changing up the job description a little bit to give it a little bit more focus on the community building, community management part of it, and a little bit less on the actual mechanical social media advertising portion of it, because one of those is more of a soft skill that's tough to learn, and the other is you read a book and you get it. Well, it's kind of insulting to people who do it for a living. I recognize it's difficult, but the capacity in which we need it is much lower than you would expect out of a big marketing manager. What we're going to do is we're going to rebuild that job description a bit. Not a ton, just a bit, just to bubble up some attributes to the top. Look over everybody who applied before, see if anybody is more fit for it now that we've edited the job description, and see if they want to reapply, and probably also solicit some additional applications as well. And we were trying to get that as soon as possible, but as we have learned, hiring is hard, and it necessarily takes a long time because you want to make sure you hire the right person. So that's communications. Katsucon is coming up in next weekend. Next weekend's Katsucon. If you want to help out with that, there's the promo Katsucon channel in Slack. Josiah Tillett, Outlaw, and Sean Morgan. What the hell is his? Josiah and Sean Morgan are helping organize that. So hop into the Slack channel, promo Katsucon Slack channel, and if you want to help out, then you get a badge. You just gotta hang out at the table and tell people about MAGFest. We don't really have a lot of information about Super MAGFest 2019, clearly, but talk up the community, talk up the organization, and we do have 4 events coming up: Stock, BitGen, Labs, West. A lot. Oh yeah, we got spring MagCon dates and fall MagCon dates already. How do you like that? Ashley's gonna put it out in the next newsletter. Oh god, I think it's April 27th through 29th. Well, we have the space at 27th through the 29th. We don't actually. So like the 28th and 29th is spring MagCon, and then Super MagCon, fall MagCon is November 2nd through 4th. The fall one is where it's very much focused on Super MAGFest, the event that's coming up in early 2019. I won't tell you anybody when, because hotel rooms don't want people to book outside a block and steal all the hotel rooms. Anyway, Spring MagCon in April is something we started doing back in 2017. It's a MagCon that is not event specific. It talks about organizational topics about our organization as a whole. The structure of the board, the structure of the office, the interaction of the events with each other and with the organization and wherever that hierarchy is. Staff culture. We're going to be. Last year was a brand new thing, so I'm not exactly sure the direction we're going to take with this one. I know there's going to be a lot of staff culture talk I think at this one, some more mental health stuff, probably some more sexual harassment and assault training, awareness about that kind of thing. I anticipate anyway. I don't know for sure, but if you have an idea for things along those lines, that there are things that you think all MAGFest staff should know, and things that we as a community should be aware of and thinking of, and not so much we as staffers should be doing for Super MAGFest. Keep that in mind. We're gonna put out some kind of suggestion form to talk about ideas for topics at Spring MagCon, and you can drop it in there. Don't hesitate to just drop it in Slack right now if you're thinking about it, or email it to me or Ashley. I'm Nick at magfest.org. Ashley is ashley.nicolette@magfest.org. That's 1 C, 2 L's, 2 T's, Nicolette. And yeah, I'm excited for Spring MagCon. Last one was really positive, and so I think it's all up from here. So what else we got going on here? So we do have four major events. They are MagStock, which is camping in the woods. I don't know if you have not been to MagStock before, I highly recommend it. It's probably my favorite MagFest event. You just kind of camp and you don't really do anything. You just barbecue, have a beer, watch concerts, go swimming. It's super relaxing. It's super chill, and that's coming up in early June in Louisa, Virginia, which is halfway between Richmond and Charlottesville. And I just had a meeting with the MagStock team a couple weeks ago, and things are chugging along for that. BitGen Gamer Fest is July 28th in Baltimore at Autobar. It's like MagFest if you cram it into one day in one club. It's like a baker's dozen bands or something like that, and that's a one-day thing, and that's fun. MagWest, we are closing in on actually getting this damn contract signed for this year. Huge props to Sheva and to Colette for pushing on that. And I'm excited to let that crew off the leash to start kicking some ass, because they put together an amazing event from absolutely nothing last year. In like, God, we had a really late start on it. It was like 4 months, and they knocked it out no problem. So, with already having run the event once and having a couple extra months to knock it out, I'm really excited for how it's going to turn out. And the great thing, I think the great thing about it, and there's many great things about MagWest, but the thing that one has to keep in mind about MagWest is that we can't rush it too hard, too fast. What made Super MagFest, what made Super MagFest great was that it was slowly and surely built by the community that attended it. It expanded organically, expanded naturally, word of mouth. We didn't do major advertising campaigns. We didn't book like the biggest bands and guests ever possibly imaginable just to sell the most tickets. We built it because it was cool. It would be very easy for us to just use all of our money and equipment and just make a huge event out west, but it wouldn't be the same because it wouldn't be built by the people out there. MagWest has to be different than Super MagFest, not because I require that it has different content, but because it will naturally be that way, because the people out there building it will have different ideas than the people who built Super MagFest over here in DC, formerly Roanoke, formerly Williamsburg, Charlottesville, Vienna, Alexandria. And it'll still be guided by the same core values, vibe, principles, that the je ne sais quoi that makes MagFest what it is, just with its own special flair. Speaking of special flair, MagFest Laboratories is coming up September 7th through 9th at the Hilton Mark Center in Alexandria, Virginia. Mag Labs is cool because it takes kind of the core stuff of MagFest with the music and the games and the hobbity boobity, and it adds a special hands-on makerspace flair to it. So basically everything you normally see at MAGFest, you get to build at Mag Labs. Circuit boards, costumes, Legos. You get to learn a lockpick. You get to learn musical theory. It's just all about hands-on learning how to do different things. And it's a really cool event. It's chill, like Magstock. It's super fun, and that's coming up in September. Okay, so those are the events coming up this year. Well, every year. It has, so when I posted the last update in the Fireside chat channel, that was actually just a couple weeks ago. So not a whole lot has happened between now and then. But let me just run through some general updates here. One, there was talk about the Super Mag Operations Division Head and positions of who fills it and assistants. Someone had reached out to me a couple weeks ago to see if they could be the ops div head for Super Mag, and I'm like, no, but you can help me. And that was when I was like back on light duty from Super Mag. I just woken up, so I was taking like halftime that week. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I could use a hand. And then I was going to take the next week to start to reach out to affected departments, be like, hey, I got a new hand. They're here to help. Let me know if you need anything. Is this all cool with you? But I'd almost immediately started to hear some feedback from people that are like, "Whoa, that's kind of a rash decision to add someone without talking to anybody." I'm like, "Whoa, I was going to talk to people, but yeah, I mean, let me start reaching out, scheduling meetings, get some feedback, see what's going on here, make sure that everyone's happy before we start moving forward." And I'd gotten a bunch of stuff scheduled, and then there was quite a hubbub in Slack when someone had put that I just made the decision without any feedback whatsoever, no plans to make feedback, just do it and run, which is not the case. And I, as much as possible, try to get feedback on every major decision I ever can. Because of the speed I have to work at, sometime I can't ask everybody everything all the time. But as much as possible, I try to get feedback on everything. And even when a decision is made, you can still get feedback. Like, you can never not email me. You can never not get on my calendar. You can never not DM me. I may not always answer, just because I gotta keep things during the work week. Because with me working during the day, taking meetings during the night, doing these during the night, and volunteers starting to get more active during the night. If I allow myself, since MAGFest is my job and my hobby, I will be wired 24/7, which is not good for anybody. It's not good for me. It's not good for MAGFest. It's not good for Sunny, who needs to be fed. But anyway, long story short, please reach out to me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. On the subject of decisions and feedback and that kind of thing is the concept of the mosh pit. If you haven't heard of the mosh pit, it's a channel we have in Slack, where it's like the BOD and the event leadership. It's where they can get together to hash out really fucking shitty ideas to get them to a presentable form before actually asking everybody else about it. Stuff that if I ever dared say it in a public channel, people would be like, why are you even thinking about that? So it's just just kind of like bouncing ideas off each other, so that they can get to a place where we can actually start to get feedback on it. Plus, there's, I won't lie, there's a degree of venting that I need to do, other people need to do sometimes, and it's not appropriate to do that venting sometimes in a public forum, but sometimes you need it in a support group of people who are kind of aware of the things you're dealing with, and it's a big help with that. the channel was formed when people didn't like the idea that the BOD was up here with an echo chamber and wasn't kind of listening to other decisions or other opinions, feedback, whatever, going on at any point below them. So the point of the mosh pit was to help make sure that the leaders of the events, the people who are running these things, get more tied together, and are able to make more educated steps in making the right decisions and getting feedback where necessary. As much as possible, the channel is for discussions, not decisions. Naturally, some decisions it can't be avoided. Some will be made, but as much as possible, it's to get things into a good place, decent shape where it can start getting feedback. And if anything ever happens there, if any decision is ever made, the channel is the event leadership, so you can talk to your event leadership and ask them about what's going on, what kind of decisions. And so for Mag Labs, that's Adam, Jared, Donnelly, Drew Cooter. For Wes, that's Dare and Sheva. For Stock, that's Mark Renan, Hachi. I guess BitGen leadership isn't in there. That's the only one. But those are all extremely reasonable people to speak with. Well, except for that Mark Renan. I've got a lot of fights with him. He's just really mean. I'm kidding, of course. So yes, Moshpit is placed for event leadership to get really bad ideas out of the way so that they can be made a little bit better before for your convenience. Okay, so that's all I gotta say on that. What else we got going on? Some office updates. Steph is currently on a working road trip. She's driving around, visiting a bunch of people. She's with Hoodrin right now. Brandon and Aaron Hood in Colt, Arkansas, which is population 18, one traffic light. Lovely people, lovely home. She's going around doing that, and so she is mostly preoccupied with getting the books set and getting all of these financials done. So she may not have a whole lot of time to help you with anything you want to ask her for, but be aware that she is getting it. Just give her time. Rob Ruana, our software engineer, is trying as much as possible to focus on long-term Uber development. If you don't know what Uber is, it's our custom-made event management software, and we're trying to evolve it into its new form, Reggie. It's cute, and it's tough. It's tough to get long-term major infrastructural changes done if you have to keep going back and changing, making fixes and adding new features to legacy software. So since we are at a downtime in the year, we are trying to treasure this precious time as much as possible to get big strides forward in Reggie. So if you have requests for Uber as is for features or bugs or anything like that, I don't know what kind of turnaround we can guarantee for you on that. Maybe head over to the DevOps channel in Slack or email code@magfest.org, see if you can get help there. But if we don't get working on the long-term stuff now, it'll never happen. So you got Steph, you have Rob, Dominic Cerquetti, the former executive director of MAGFest, as of January 31st, is no longer an employee of MAGFest Inc. The hero who saved the world. It was a pleasure working with him as a volunteer for 10 years and as an employee for the past going on 3. And everything I know, I learned from him. And so anything that I'm able to do because of him. And so I'm eternally grateful for that. But he's not gone. He's still volunteering. He's still on the board of directors. I believe he is the treasurer on the board of directors. So he's going to make an express point to look into like long-term budget research and investments on future things. And so I'm excited to see what he does with that as time goes on. Other than that, we got a few events coming up. I mentioned Katsucon earlier. GDC, Game Developers Conference, is coming up in the Bay Area. Some San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose bullshit. I don't know. California's weird. The West people will be out there. Promoing West. We have a retro play table, and I guess it's the retro play area of GDC, and so they let us set up our tablecloths and our flyers and systems and whatnot. And, just get to talk to people out there, and most of the rest of the office will be going out there too, just because of how powerful of a networking event that GDC is. So it'll be good for some really long-term planning stuff. And I get to present an award at the Gaming Audio Network Guild Award Ceremony. Gang! I get to present the People's Choice Award out there for composition or album or something like that. It'll be fun. I'm excited to do that. I don't know why they want me out there. There's another event coming up in Minneapolis in a month. It's called VGM Con. If you're out in Midwest, it's a convention dedicated to video game music. So they have some concerts. They've got panel tracks devoted to like composition and VGM industry, and then some general convention fare to surround that. I owe them plugs on social media, so I gotta get to that. Okay, that was all the prepared notes I had. Let me go see if anything in Slack. Joe's making fun of me saying "habity boobity." It's a scientific term. Thank you very much. It's recognized by Princeton Magazine and Harvard Weekly, which are definitely things that I did not just lack. Farad talked about Fireside Chat. Sounds nice in Chicago. FDR, not Woodrow Wilson. FDR. I was close. I wasn't close at all, was I? I should have known that. I'm mad at myself for not knowing that. Okay, not much going on in the stream chats. Let's see. The Fireside, or the forum, you can still use that to submit questions as long as this is going on. Nick, I don't know which Nick, but someone named Nick asked when Spring MagCon is, and I touched on that earlier. That is April 28th and 29th down at the Gaylord in National Harbor. I think we have space for the 27th as well, so we'll probably be showing up there a little bit early to have some hangout time Friday night. That same weekend, though, is Universal FanCon in Baltimore. It's a geek convention focused on diversity topics. It's going to be cool as hell. So if you're not at Spring MagCon, go check that out. I'm gonna check it out Friday morning, afternoon. That is answered. Joe Cooter, Nick God says Labs is doing an open meeting tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Joe, can you tell me how one would tune into this MagFest Laboratories open meeting? And while you are telling me that, I'm waiting for the stream delay. Bill Henson asks, are we any closer to having a MagWest contract and definite dates? Yes! Thank God! Actually, with any luck, we should have it... Oh my God, why do I say it? We should have it tomorrow. It's actually, we have a contract deadline. Whatever. We're working out something with the hotel, and our schedule with the hotel is supposed to have it be done tomorrow. And if that all works out, then if that works out, which it will, it's good. I think MAGWest is the 10th through the 12th, but nothing's final until it's final. So wait until you actually see it on magfest.org, and talk to Sheva if you have questions about that. So if you want to check out the MAGFest laboratories open, what do you call it? Open meeting. Just anybody can come in and check it out. That is 9 p.m. Eastern, so that's an hour and a half from now. The best way to do it is if you are in Slack. I can't give you a link to whatever streamer meeting they have right now, but if you go to the Mag Labs channel in Slack, hashtag Mag Labs, they will post a link in there so you can figure out how to get to it. Ivan asks, where is he? The answer is Ivan is outside. You can see his fur chair right there below our sprint board. But he decided to go outside because he is a chilly kitty with a thick winter coat that we tried for a very long time to get dreadlocks out of today. And that's what you pay us for. So yeah, let me see. Anything else going on in the question form? No, not really. Anything else in stream chat? Farad asks, if I, a first-year staffer, were to go to one MagCon per year, which one should I attend, spring or fall? That depends. If you're specifically as a first-year staffer, I'm going to say fall MagCon. If you can only go to one. God, that's really tricky. Depends on where your vested interest is. I suppose if you mostly are focused on just making sure the content of a MAGFest event is stable and operational and functional, then the fall MagCon thing is your thing. Like if you're just trying to make sure that your rooms, you have all the tech needs you need, and your rooms, your schedules. Specifically for Super Mag. But MAGWest has its own WestCon, Mag Labs has its own LabsCon, Super Mag is the fall MagCon. If you really don't care about much other than running your content at those events, go to that. If you feel you have a vested interest in MAGFest as a community, as an organization, as a whole non-profit, then it'd be quite valuable to come to spring MagCon, just because we'll get into some heavy shit there. Let me tell you what. Okay, I think that about covers it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a Google Meet, and I should have made this link before I started this. I'm going to paste the link to the Google Meet in the YouTube stream chat and the Slack chat. Bing. Bang. Okay. I think I will hang out there until like 8 o'clock. I think that works. Yeah. So anybody is welcome to join that Google Meet, by the way. Doesn't matter if you're staff, attendee, whatever. Just hop in, and we will shoot the shit about whatever. Thank you all so much. The next Fireside Chat, it's the second Thursday of the month, so it'll be March 8th. So I will see you all then. Have a good evening.